Okay, so I got the new spring installed using all the shims, pins in it. The pin was chamfered, so that worked out. As you see, it's kind of fresh. Let's see if I can do this. It's kind of fresh right there. Just took a bastard file and cleaned up that edge on it. So it's in there. That spring is 10 thousandths different than the other one. But I don't know if that was engineering thing where they made it thicker. Not sure, but this is kind of common. Not real common, but it happens. That's why these are serviced and inspected. So the spring on it, on the old one, broke. Trying to get it up here and show you where it was. Yeah, so it broke right in there. Anyway, that's done. So I'll put the rest of it back together, drive this bushing back up, and then get the pin underneath it in the guide. So moving on, that's that. Okay, so we got some hardware in today and put the tailwheel, Scott 3200 tailwheel back together, reassembled it. And keep moving forward on that. Still need a couple more pieces, castellated nut underneath it, but I put all the washers and stuff together and the spring that was in it and assembled it, and I'll drop a picture of that. And then the diagram printed out illustrated parts breakdown, exploded parts view of it to make sure it didn't had everything in its proper place. So that's that. Moving on. See ya. Okay, so today we're messing around with this tailwheel. Going to try and get this ready to finish making some repairs to the airframe tomorrow so we can put the spring back in it. And I'll show you some pictures here and turn this thing around, but that's where we're at. I'll just try and clean up some residual paint that's 70 years old off of it and get it cleaned up and get some rivets back in it, get the bracket back on it, and be prepared for when the rest of the hardware comes in, waiting on a couple bolts and a castellated nut, and then put this thing back together and then rig the tail wheel, which is where all this has led into to start with. So let me switch this thing around and I'll get right back to it. So there's a spring pack ready to go back in it, waiting on that bolt right there to arrive. Should be here in the next couple days. Here are the rivets in this bracket right here. Skin up the paint in a couple places there, but that bracket will go right there in that. So you see two of the holes, and then the main hole where the bolt will come through under there. Got some paint stripper on the other bracket back there, which attaches to, that's the upper half of this pair. Get that cleaned up, get these rivets bucked in there, and so that stays with that tail piece right there. That tail piece right there is an upgrade for the aluminum to make this piece a lot stiffer. That's a pretty significant piece of metal. Get down there where you can see it right there. So it just makes that whole tail wheel spring and assembly a lot stronger. That was an upgrade they did years ago. So get all that cleaned up. The Scott tail wheel is back together, and I'm waiting on, this is the main bolt that attaches it there to, jumping around here quite a bit, to this spring right here. So then I'll hang off that and it should be good. And waiting on this castellated nut, and then set the bearing clearance. They're just cone bearings, just like on a wheel bearing on the front end of a car, the old style. And that's that. Got the bagged old hardware, which looks a little rough, but Scott tail wheels back together, functions the way it's supposed to, and then we'll see how it works out. So that's where I'm at today. Get that done. I may start on, I gotta get this cleaned up. I got my other table. Oh, I can bring that over here. Get that drawer transferred to that drawer. Get those switches. And got to clear off this wing, which I cleared off a shelf down there to get the extra stuff. That's going to be put on eBay down there. Reason why I'm doing all that is I have to make sure that, let me grab a pointer here, that the wings where they hook up to, right there and right there, and the wings being, that's a lower wing even though it's broke, and one over there on that jig right there is storage, or that fixture which is keeping it. Need to see if we're going to fit with the sheet metal before I take the sheet metal back off. So the IA said the sheet metal is ready to come back off of it. I can start reworking some of that. Got to make this panel, patch this one, patch one on the other side. They got tore up because all this, these fasteners right here were just destroyed off that frame when all that happened. So I got to make sure the lower wings are going to fit on here. So what I'm going to do is take the, and if not, then we'll have to adjust it and try all that, because now's the time to do it before we get the fabric on it, and get, which is right there. So it won't be painted. That fabric's not going back on it. It'll be fresh fabric, and I have to mask it off and tape it and dope it and do the stuff to it. But before you do all that, the fabric comes up to right here. So you want to make sure all this works and get it mocked up and make sure it's going to fit once the fabric goes on it. Because once the fabric goes on it, then you're going to have your hands full if that doesn't work for you. So anyway, take the rotisserie and turn it around, get the tail back up in that corner, and then the wings will go here and there and point that way. So some of this out of the way. That wing is going to go over on that side, and that wing right there is going to fit on that side, and we'll check it and make sure that it fits to the fuselage. If it does, then it should be good to go. Just messing around with the tail wheel, trying to get ready and put that back together. So I have my little toy. This one can go back together. So that's that. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow, and see you later. Okay, back at it again in the hangar, and here's a spot where I cleaned up and arranged some tools that aren't used that often. They're used, but not that often, so kind of get them back over there out of the way. Swapped over the toolboxes, still in the process of that, trying to sort it out. You know, it'll work itself out. Got a spot cleaned up here. We'll have to transfer some stuff. We'll move some more stuff around, kicking it around and trying to get organized while we're don't quite know how to express this while it's cold outside. It's February in northern Illinois. So got the Stearman frame back over in the corner, got the wings kind of sort of almost mocked up. Actually I got to turn them over. That's the bottom side, and then see if it'll still fit the brackets. I got to replace the brackets on the leading wing root edge. They're laying over there on that stump, I think. Got to move some of this stuff right here around, pull this wing in that direction, so back over in there, so I can pull the fuselage back over and toward it, and then the other one will fit in on the other side, hopefully. May have to pull it forward a little bit out of that corner, not sure. Just trying to jockey some stuff around here. Doesn't matter how much space you got, you seem to fill it up. So getting a little more organized. That's it. That's what I'll be doing today. Oh yeah, forgot about the tail wheel. Got some paint on it. Primered it, cleaned it up. Got some paint on it. It all looks like it's flat black, but it's not. It's got a bunch of tape on it. This is steel. That has been scratched out. No, yeah. Yeah, it's already been scratched. Not sure how that happened. So yeah, this is steel, and this part is aluminum, so just covered up aluminum. I'm gonna have to hit that again. And then that spring right there is ready to go on. Have a bolt, UPS shipping tells me I have a bolt coming today and tomorrow, and a Castellan at night. So should have all my parts, get this back together, get some oil in the engine from the oil change, and this little baby will be ready to go again. So that's it for today. Nameless sense in y'all watching me pull tape off. So I'll get to getting and get back in touch with you later in the week, trying to get organized. So won't have all this on my mind. We're getting ready to go on vacation. The wife and I, for a much needed and overdue vacation. I think it's been 3 years. But have all this done and have a clear mind when I come back and just start again. See ya. So I'm not so sure that this video, this little clip's going to be so much about airplanes and hot rods and tools as it's going to be about philosophy. Yeah, I can spell it. philosophy. Go ahead, spell check it. No, I can't spell that. I have to look that one up. So what I'm into here is I got some mail and I was going to open it because all my contemporaries on YouTube, how about that? Contemporaries. Now those guys are, and ladies, sorry, are really making videos, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I got a package. Should be nuts and bolts for the, it should be that spring locator, which is, let me spin this around right here, which goes right there in that little devil. Oh, can you see it? Yeah, right there. So there's a clip that goes over that and a bolt that goes through the bottom of it, which is right here, this piece. So that little detent or stud will sit down in that hole and the bolt will go through there. But that's what I'm expecting. That's what the email said from Aircraft Spruce. That's a non-compensatory, ooh, that's a big word, plug for the aircraft grade hardware. So there you go, Aircraft Spruce, but feel free to sponsor this channel if you want to. Won't get no objections from me. So what I've been into here again is, and I'll have to turn the camera around and let's see what happens. Trying to set the wings up, and we'll open up this package here in a minute. Trying to set the wings up because they go in low and they were high on the sawhorses, and on this fixture right here, which wing just lays up against it or in it. So I just laid it down onto some other buckets, but I was after that bucket right there and wound up into the dust collector for the sandblaster. That's a great tool. It also sucks hugely. It's a nasty little deal. Sand gets everywhere, gets in your teeth. No, yeah, it's dirty. And when it's, it's pretty dusty, as you could tell by that glass on the front of it. So when you go to clean this dust collector and that filter and the pleats in it, yeah, you got a mess. So I had that 5-gallon bucket down there, and then you beat on this and you hit this, and it goes down like a grain hopper. It goes down through there and then drop it down in there. Well, I had that 5-gallon bucket sitting down there. It had a little bit of sand in it, dust, and I thought, well, shoot, I need to clean all this out. So getting into all that, so if I look like I need to take a shower earlier, I probably do. It was, yeah, that's, okay, I'm done with all that. Sorry about that little rant, but yep, after that 5-gallon bucket, put some foam on it. Got one there, but I need to put the bucket out here where it's better supported. Getting this staged up. I got the 2 brackets right here. Actually, there's 4, but I know. And they go right there. So that one is going to go there, and that one is going to go there. And we're just checking to make sure it's going to fit around. Actually, I'm just checking to see if it's going to fit around. But you can be part of the journey too. You can see the shape of it. Let me turn it around. The shape of it is the shape of this airfoil right here, the leading edge or the bullnose, and the shape of that, and see if everything's gonna bolt up in there. So that's the plan. Moved a bunch of stuff around and got the same thing on this side, except for, as I mentioned earlier, and they're right over there. I don't know, you can't really see it, but it's sitting on top of that sandbag. Replaced those brackets, they just completely broke off. The other ones are bent, they're gonna have to be replaced too, but same deal, just the other wing. Got some brackets and need to see if they'll fit down there. And this poor devil, this was the wing that got up in the ground. So I'm not sure if you can actually see that. That's supposed to be straight. And that carried the weight. When the gear let go, that big old crack doesn't belong there, and all this dents in this thing. It doesn't look that bad on camera actually, but it's beat up pretty good. Yeah, kind of a little bit, well, there's quite a bit of damage. Yep, got another piece over there on the shelf. That's a compression strut, so all that's got to get changed, and there's a bunch of damage to this thing. That's supposed to be straight, so I've got to build these like bridge trusses. Actually, it's just built like a bridge, except for it's made out of wood and covered with fabric. So yeah, that's not sheet metal. That sounds like it, but that's fabric. Anyway, that's where I'm at. That's got my address. That's coming out. Sorry, you won't see that one. I had my address on it, so I'm gonna have to cut that out, and then we'll get after it. See ya. So, holding this the other way, keep the address. So there's gonna be some gaps in this because I need to edit this and take that out from the address of the envelope. But it is, I was gonna use tape. Okay, let me do this again. Take one, cut, take two. Insert rattling and scissors cutting open right here. Just did this. Yeah, there it is, aircraft spruce. I don't know if that's gonna come be backwards or what. So let's see. We have packing in this, and there's the bolts. Ooh, aren't they pretty? Aircraft grade. That's nice. There should be AN 4-23. Is that what it is? Yeah, I think so. So, yep, that's it. So that'll put the other tail wheel together. The reason why I'm doing this is all my contemporaries I mentioned before. On YouTube, trying to come up with a spiel or, a shtick. And, they open up their mail, they have a mail call. So my mail call are parts. Nobody's actually viewing these or writing letters other than my sisters or siblings. But anyway, yeah, rejection, it's a real thing. I'm telling you, it is. It, hurt my damn feelings. So you watch all the YouTube videos, what I would do if I were going to redo mine, how to start it, and anyway, I'm just having fun with this thing. So, that's it. Need one of those. Ordered 5, so I got 4 spares. It's not going to break, but yeah, have something to go with next time. So yeah, that's it. I'll put it back together. Another thing going on the tail wheel. See ya. Okay, we got some more mail today. Aircraft spruce. Ta-da! Been redacted, and I've been reading the political news environment lately when you use that word. Didn't even know it was such a word. Here we go. Should be castellanated nut and AN7, castellanated number 8 nut and AN7, oops. Ooh, those are single. Wow. AN7 21A, so the reason why it's designated as such, there's a chart, and you take a tape measure and you measure from the back of the bolt head up to where the chamfer on the grip is. That distance will designates this as a 21. It's an AN7 with the diameter, and the A means that the thread is not drilled. So that's that. And empty. Have an enclosed packing list. Ooh, we got both copies. That's weird. Usually you just get The top copy. Huh. Alrighty, so we'll put together, yeah, look at that. Got the carbon copy too. Huh. Be able to put together the rest of the tail wheel, which is, hold on a second, and let me get back to you. Okay, so this number 8, 310-8. The 310 says it's a castellated nut and the regular size. Number 8 designates its diameter or bolt size. We'll go on here. It's got it's chromate, yellow chromate, which keeps it from rusting up. It's a rust proofing thing. This one's in bare steel, so that'll rust up. This one will eventually, but not as much. So yeah, it's pretty, so pretty. This bolt, the other one, the AN7, I think it was dash 21, 23. We'll go through there and attach. It will attach the tail wheel to the spring, and utilizing that hardware up there, so I can get rid of this old hardware, that washer, and then with a castellated nut, we'll put the pin in it, and these other 2 pins laid out will go on through here. So it's just a safety. So make sure the chains don't come off. Then I can get back to, and maybe we'll go through it, to rigging the tail wheel. So when you deflect the rudder all the way, turn the wheel, which is my steel toe boot safety shoes, over here, and then this right chain should be taut. If you push it just a little bit, it should break over. That was my issue. And then go back the other way, make sure the other chain and these links is tight when everything's deflected the other way right before it breaks over. And you just add or take away links on the chain. And when it's tight, and then it'll pull, whichever way. So it's a steerable tail wheel, and that's how that goes. So I'm gonna get busy, put this together, and get back to you. Okay, I'm back. So made a shim to go all the way over the leaf and then down the sides. It had, the wheel was able to rotate that way. Not rotate, but the whole fixture was not tight, as in like that. So it could shimmy. Once it set up an oscillation, I wouldn't say harmonics, but once it set up an oscillation, it was tough. The wheel would be back here just doing, and give you the tail wheel shimmy thing. Not catastrophic, just, a little annoying. So the bracket for the casting on the tail wheel, which is what I'm talking about right here, is not exactly centered. It looks like it is, but it's not. So it would get into that radius right down, let me get my pointer here. Oops, sorry. Right down in there. And if you look closely, you can see where it was before. So this must have been turned the other way. It's that much of a difference, about a 30 seconds offset in it. It was in the radius of here, which wasn't letting everything fit snug that way and pull into itself. It's got a tube here, locates everything, and the washer on top. So getting ready to put it back together now and see and go from there. So I'll get back with you in a minute. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that did the trick. That seats in there real well. I got the shim, it's the shiny part down there, all the way across the leaf spring. Before, it was this piece on one side and I think this piece on the other side. I was gonna do that trick here with some other pieces of scrap aluminum, but then whatever the dimension is on the back side of it, right there on that angle, and just broke it and pressed it down, and pressed the two together to form fit it. And that took care of all that shimmy, but I got one here. This wheel should turn. There's one lock, there's the other lock. It wasn't locking this way. So when it locks this way with the rudder full deflected, the chain, this chain right here should be full together. Looks like I'm gonna have to add a link or two. Anyway, got some over there, but I'm still loose. That's not the tail, that's this fork. So that nut, which is this one down through here. So I'll just take another flat off. Maybe I'll take a tire out to do it. And get back with you. See ya. All right, it's like playing Tetris in here or something. You got a limited amount of space. Let me get up here on these steps and show you what I wouldn't say coping with or dealing with, what I'm trying to manage, I think. So this wing was on sawhorses, but it mounts over there, and I've got it sitting on 5-gallon buckets and an old Labrador dog feed bin who has since perished. He was a good old dog, Pride. Golden Lab, great dog. Miss you, Pride. So I had the wings over here and ready to go and test fit on a fuselage, but we're getting ready to go on vacation, and the inspector may be coming by. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So he needs to inspect this and rotate it around. I got to take some more sheet metal off of it. So I'll be taking the baggage off of it. Those side panel inspections, just make it easier for him. I'm gonna leave this lower fairing on because that's part of checking out for the wing root. And then there's a panel underneath it that I can take off that he doesn't need to have in a way. And then bring the rotisserie or the frame. Let me back up here a little bit. Maybe I can point this out. Bring it more this way and then park it right there so you can rotate it and inspect it there. Get this wing over here out of the way, maybe straighten up that, or put that wing back on the fixture and store it for right now. And after this inspection, then I'm ready to trial the fit or mock up the wings, make sure all that's gonna work again, and then go from there. So anyway, that's where I'm at. See you later. Here's a quick tech tip. If it looks like I've been fighting a cat, that's not why. It's, see those zip tie tails right there? And you cut them off with side cutters or diagonal cutters, and they're just like, when you reach in there, they're just like little razor blades. See them just waiting for you. So what you do is take either a bastard file and just file them down, or like that one, or a die grinder with the Rolock sandpaper on it, and you just file them down, and then it's smooth and it won't cut you up like that. So I need to do that to this. So just a quick tech tip. See, so this session of Tetris in the hangar is solved, I think. Wings over here, panels that are coming off or land under it, and there's one stored under it and one over here behind it, right there. Rest of that stayed put. That was the transfer earlier. Pulled the fuselage out and there so I can get twirled. Show you that in a second. The other wing is on the storage fixture. Have a desk laid out. Tools are ready. Put the tail wheel is all back together. This is all good. There's a little bit of slack. I have a question if I should take out another link on this or not to tighten that up. But if I do that, it will, I don't know if that'd be too much. Be right there. But when you pull deflection and right up till where it's ready to break is right there, and that's when it should be tight. If I take out another one, it's going to be ½ inch maybe, shorter. So don't know, or if that's too much slack right here in the neutral position. I gotta ask, we'll figure that out. Back on the twirler and also cleared space. Oh, I gotta put the license registration on the license plate there. So this bad boy can be twirled or rotisseried. Not sure how you would say that. But anyway, this is back so it can be inspected, so I'm ready for the inspector. That clicking and clanging are seat belts down there and stuff that isn't nailed together yet. That's not Not that it's not normal, it just not all together yet. Clicking around like the seat belts and some cables and things, but that's that. So this little episode of Tetris is done, and moving on. So looking at these brakes, yeah, I had some cables here that aren't tied down or secured yet. So, oops, yeah, right there. Yeah, moving on. Looking at these brakes and thinking, because I was going to take out, brain fart, not the ribs, but the complete brain fart. I've got the wood right there to replace the spars. Spars, that's what they're called, Eric. Spars. To replace the spars, but I would have to cut out all along each section, all the way back to the end, and then like debone it. But I'm wondering if it'd be a lot less work to come back to here, cut it, do some kind of cut on it, and over here splice in a new one, scab wood over it, which can go on the front and the back, and just work with this part of it instead of all of it. Let's save all that work out through there and all that woodwork. It'll be a lot faster. This is going to have to come out anyway, so yeah, I might have to think about that. That might be the way to go. Alrighty, that's it. Try and get this posted. Got some packing to do and got other responsibilities. So that's it for this week. And next week I'll be on vacation, so it's not Fun Film Friday. You're just gonna have to wait 2 weeks. So apologies for all that, but it is what it is. Well, have a good one. See ya.